Hello, this is Joakim from Astralors, and you are watching CMS TV.
I think now, I'm just more at peace with, and I don't want to just blame my ex-wife because it wasn't all her. It was a lot of it was just me just hating life, just hating everything. And I still kind of do, but not as much, not as much as I used to. And, I'm just a little more mellow, which is weird because, dude, it's so weird that I think that, and you think people that know me pretty close think that, but there are still people, the people that are like peripheral people, they still think I'm angry as fuck.
Nowhere near what you were
No.
15, 16, 18 years ago.
Yeah, that's like, I'm going to bring this to the show now because it actually fits where we're at. I don't know. I know I told you about this, but I don't know if you heard it. Did you hear Jim Florentine's plug of me and the CMS and everything?
I did actually hear it. I listened to his show. I listened to a couple of episodes this week. I listened to the 14th and the 21st.
Dude, he
aligns with my thoughts on, for forever, and the difference between, because a lot of the things that he finds despicable or things that he won't participate in or finds just stupid is one of the reasons why I never got on social media. And he gets a lot of his material from social media.
He does. Oh, yeah.
Because I know social media is exactly what he's describing as the reason why I never wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah. No, dude, it's totally true. But it's just funny, like, and I'll play this. He plugged me. Him and I have, become friendly. Obviously he's done this show. He did the Seth show. He's, and I do send him some content for his show.
Sure.
Because I love his podcast. Forget the fact that we're friendly. I don't give a shit. His podcast is my every Monday morning. And if it ain't there at 8:00 or whatever, when I sit down, I'm like, wait, I can't even start work. Because this is how I start work now, is with the Everybody Is Awful podcast. But it surprised me that he gave a pretty good plug.
Yeah, he gave you a nice plug. He gave the CMS a nice plug. He gave Chris Akin Presents a nice plug,
He did, but the first thing he says is my buddy Chris, he's just as angry as I am. And I'm like, man, if you only knew, bro.
But he kind of described our whole show as just being an angry show.
Yeah, I know. So, maybe we are. Maybe we are angry. I don't know. But here's the plug.
My friend Chris got just as much rage as me. It's fucking beautiful.
Right. Are you kidding?
Rage.
Yeah,
you got a lot of rage.
I don't think I have as much rage as I used to anymore.
I think it's just that, both you and I just say things exactly how we see it. And I don't know that it's out of rage. It's just out of, we just don't buy into the stupid ridiculousness of current norms in society.
Yeah, it is. It's just funny. But here we go. Here's the plug.
My friend Chris got just as much rage as me. It's fucking beautiful. If you're into heavy metal, he's got a show called The Classic Metal Show. It's a radio show every Saturday night. They put it into a podcast. You listen to it. And then he also does a Chris Akin Presents, where he interviews like hard rock dudes. Akin. Check him out if you're into metal and stuff like that. It's a good show. That's how I got turned on. I'm like, when I found, I've been listening to him for years, him and his buddy. And when I got in touch with him, I was like, dude, I like you guys because you guys fucking got a lot of anger and rage too. And I'm like, I need to hear this. I love when everyone else is just fucking bitching and complaining. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we got a lot of rage and anger.
That's so great.
It's funny.
It is funny, but hey, on behalf of the show, and you can say your piece, but thank you, Jim. That was an awesome plug.
That was a nice, kind word. And, just the fact that, again, knowing that Jim is, according to him anyway, that he's been listening to us for years, which is, I find it an honor,
I do too.
because Florentine is a veteran comedian, and he's done some of the biggest shows that were ever around.
Yeah.
Be it Howard Stern or obviously Opie and Anthony and
Gutfeld now.
The Gutfeld Show, and he was on Crank Yankers, and he's just had a long storied career, or as long as we've been aware of Jim Florentine, and know that he likes what we do. I find that just I find it an honor. So thanks, Jim.
Yeah, very much appreciated. And what a good plug. I mean, dude, we you get plugs here and there from shows that she's like, yeah, go check these guys out. That's cool. And that was a solid plug. Spelled the name to make sure you get it right and stuff. I was like, holy fuck, this rocks.
So if you weren't aware, Jim Florentine has a show. You can listen to it on Spotify and various other outlets, but I listen to it on Spotify. And what'd you say? It uploads every Monday?
Yeah, every Monday it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Everybody is Awful, Except You. I don't know if this is true or not. I did not hear this, but if it is, I guess thank you.
Yeah, he did. He plugged the CMS several times. He uploaded his excursion on the 80s cruise, which was what I was on.
Okay.
And I ran into Jason a couple of times during the cruise, and he plugged the CMS a couple of times on his latest upload, saying that he was kind of the last day of the cruise when Don was doing his interview with Mark Goodman from MTV. He basically started off his day in his cabin, looking out at the ocean, and he goes, well, here it is. It's Saturday. It's the last day of the cruise. He says, I'm going to go on down and see Mark Goodman interview Don Dokken and meet up with Neeley and of the Classic Metal Show. In fact, he's the one who gave me my start. He had me on his show years ago, and he just kind of talked about that.
Well, that's a nice plug.
Yeah. And then he gave us another plug later in one of the shows about, seeing me and meeting with Don and getting Don on his show and all that kind of other stuff. And, so yeah, he plugged us a couple of times this week, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Love that.